So today we are looking at dot plots and histograms. These are two types of graphs that we can use to represent data. There's a gajillion types of graphs in the world. These are just the two that we're using today. The reason why we're using two different graphs today is because they can be best used for different types of data. So there are two main types of data that we will see. We will do discrete values. So a discrete value is an individual specific numbers that have limited options. The key to being discrete is that you are going to be countable. So I would add that in. That's the easiest way to remember if a value is discrete. So some examples of discrete values are the number of students in this class, trying to think of something else that's countable. What? The number of pieces of sushi you eat. You're going to sit there and you're going to say, I went to Mizu and I ate 27 pieces of sushi and I don't feel good, but I got my money's worth. Okay, so things that are countable. Things that you can say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can be big countable numbers, it can be little countable numbers, but things that are countable. Okay. The other type of data that we are going to be looking at are continuous values. So continuous values, instead of counting something, these are things that are going to be measurable. I know I say the word measure weird. Please don't make fun of me. Okay. So things that instead of counting, we measure. So any value in a range between 2 points, and that is going to include decimals and fractions. So some examples of continuous values. Your height. The distance you live from the school. What else? What's something else that you could measure? How far your seminar is from your class? The length of your what? The length of something, weight, so length, weight, distance, height, all of those things that we have like units to measure, those are the types of things that are continuous values. They're going to be measurable because some of you might live 0.037 miles away from school, and some of you might live 7 miles away from school, and those would all be distances you would measure. All right. We are going to be looking at two different types of graphs today. The two different types of graphs, guess what? We're going to use one for one type and one for the other type most of the time. So, dot plots we are always going to use with discrete values. Things that you need to do when you're making a dot plot, you're going to draw a number line that is appropriate for your data. On your assignment, we already have that done for you because we know what number line you're going to need. We're going to do like an activity later. You'll have to draw your number line on the activity because we won't know what number line you'll need. You want to look at your minimum and maximum and just include from there to there. So if you're like graphing the ages of people in this class, you probably only need to include from, and you're not including me, you probably only need to include from 14 to 18. If you're graphing the ages of everyone in your family, you might need to include from 0 to 100 which we'll get to that and probably use a histogram for that. Okay, then you need to label the number line. So you need to tell us what that number line represents. So that's what the quick write was missing. Are these cats? Are these dogs? Are these frogs? Are these ages? Are these numbers of cheeseburgers you ate last week? And then you just draw a little X above the corresponding number line for each data value. Any questions at the moment? We haven't done one yet. Okay, let's open up this note sheet and let's go make our dot plot then. So this is the set of data that we are going to make a dot plot for. 20 students recorded the number of hours, so it's rounded to the closest hour, they spent watching TikToks over the weekend. Label the number line appropriately and construct a dot plot for this data. So all of these numbers, what do they represent? 9 hours, 8 hours, 8 hours. So down here we have a little blank below. So we are going to label it hours watching TikTok. Do we still use TikTok or are people onto other social media platforms? I feel like they're all the same now. Every once in a while, I'll find myself scrolling on like YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels accidentally and think it's TikTok, and I'll be like, wait, what is this? And why did I see this 3 weeks ago already? All right, then we need to label our number line with the numbers we need. So you want to look through all your data. What is the lowest number you guys see? 4, okay. What's the highest number you guys see? 11. Okay, so we have way more space here than we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I'm just going to kind of use the center here. I'm going to start like right here and put 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm going to get everything labeled. All right, then how we make a dot plot, we call them dot plots. It's really hard to draw a dot. Most people draw X's. If you want to do dots, you can. I do X's. But we are going to go draw an X to represent every data point. So we could go put an X on 9 and then an X on 8 and then an X on 8. I think it's easier to do all for one at the same time. So I'm going to cross off 4 and put an X over 4. Then I'm going to go look. See if I have any 5s. I don't see any. But I'm going to cross off as I go in case I miss somebody. Then I'm going to cross off my 6s. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 X's. And I'm going to do my 7s. So I've got 1, 2, 3. Looks like 1, 2, 3. Got a bunch of 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I've got 3 9s. 1, 2, 3. 3 10s. 1, 2, 3. And an 11. All right, any questions about making this graph? All right, so you gotta label it. You gotta label your number line, which we already did on the assignment for you. And then you gotta put your X's. A couple things to notice. Do you guys notice that, actually that you can't see that, it's clear. Let me get it one with the color. See how if I put this ruler here, basically all of those first 3 on those ones are all lined up? It's not perfect, but we can tell that this one has the most and that these 3 have the same amount you need to write and make your graph neat enough that it looks like that. If I were to instead have made my graph like this and made little x's on this one and then big x's on this one, these 2 x's look like they're worth more than these 3 x's. So it doesn't matter how big your x's are or if you use dots or x's, but they all have to be the same so that your graph adequately shows your tallest little stack is your highest number, okay? Any questions? Okay, after you guys make your graphs, we're going to ask you guys some questions about them. This one asks you, by looking at the dot plot, what is the approximate center of the data, and what does this mean? So center, by that we mean median. So we are going to take our fingers, just like we did with medians in 7.1, and we're going to go from the outside. But every x is worth 1. So these are each worth 1. And then these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So then I end up on 8. So I end up on 8 hours. So medians on these are probably the trickiest thing. I'm going to show you with the highlighter, and then that way it's in the video too. So this one and this one canceled each other out. These 3 and 3 of these canceled each other out. And then this one with 1 of these. And then these 2 can cancel each other out. And then this one and this one. This one and this one. And then that leaves me in the center at 8. So it's just like doing medians from the inside, the outside, but each x represents a data point. Okay, so the approximate center of the data is 8 hours, and that means the middle number of TikTok's watch was 8 hours. So explain that however you want, but that is how we would find a center from a dot plot. Okay. Any questions right now? Okay. We're going to flip back to the front of this. We're going to talk about histograms and when we use them. And then we will make our histogram, and then we will be done with notes. Okay, histograms. We are going to use histograms with continuous values. And then there is a time that we use it with discrete values, and that is if your data has a large range. So even if it's something countable, if you would have to make a dot plot that is a number line that goes all the way from 0 to 100, that's not going to show us good data. So even if it's countable, we might want to do a histogram and do like 0 to 10, 11 through 20, 21 through 30. So you might, for a large range of discrete data, want to use a histogram. So for histograms, instead of doing each individual number, we're going to look over our data and we are going to pick appropriate intervals. So like little sections. Then we're going to label our horizontal axis of our little table using these intervals. And then we are going to shade in a box above the corresponding interval for each data value. All right, and then I have one more little note down here. I don't think there's one on your assignment, but I don't think there's one on your notes, but there is one on your assignment. Outliers. An outlier is a data set or a value that's way different. So if I were to ask everybody what their height is, and everyone is between 5 foot and 6 foot, and then one person is 6'8", that would be the outlier. Are you 6'8", Jacoby? Yeah. Okay, cool. If I were to ask everybody what they got on the test, and everybody got between a 70 and a 90, but one person got 102, that would be the outlier. It can go the other way too. You can be a low outlier as well. Okay, so flip this open. We got one histogram to make, and then we will be done with notes. So these kind of bled together. This is where one ends and one starts. The times in seconds it took to download 30 apps are given below. Choose appropriate intervals and construct a histogram for this data. So we need to look through all of these times. What is the lowest time that you guys see? 16? Okay. What's the highest time that you guys see? Is it the 65? Anybody see anything higher than 65? Okay. So then, let's come look here. If I need to go from 16 to 65, I can do teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Yeah, that works. So down here, this first one, we're going to label it 10 to 19. Not 10 to 20, 10 to 19. Then the next one, we're going to label 20 to 29. And then 30 to 39. You see what I'm doing? Okay, just so we don't have any overlap. 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69. Okay, and then what do those numbers represent? Seconds to download an app. So seconds to download an app. Okay, cool. Any questions at the moment? Okay, so same way we did on the last one, you could go do every individual point. That takes a long time. I go through and I find and I count up how many things are going to go in this first category. So how many things are between 10 and 19? So I go down my line. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's all I see. And so then I come over here and I shade in 4 boxes. Shade in enough that you can tell it's a shade in, not so much that it's a waste of your time. And then I can keep going for that. So my next one will be anything in the 20s. So I've got 25. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. How many did you guys get in the 20s? 11, is that what you got? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's all but one box to the top. Okay, I'm going to stop narrating this out loud and let you guys finish making your graph, and then we'll all make sure we agree at the end. Do we roughly agree? I had 4, 11. We did those ones together. And then I got 6, 4, 3, 2. Okay. And like, if you guys see, I missed one, and that's why I crossed them off. Because then I was looking back through my list, and I found one that I had missed, and so then I could add another one easily. Okay? So, cross off as you go. For this entire unit. Cross numbers off as you go. There's no way you're going to be able to keep track of what you have if you don't. Right. And then the last thing is, what is the most common, so most common, most often mode, what is the most common interval of time it takes? 20 to 29, because that's the tallest. So 20 to 29 seconds. All right, any questions at the moment? Okay, you guys can glue these in, glue them in, turned 90 degrees to the side, so they're not sticking out the side of your notebook. Every year somebody just like glues it in like this, and it just sticks out the side of their notebook, and I don't understand why.